What's going on, guys? It's your boy Andy Matrix. And there comes a time when, you know something? I am very, very, very skeptical about certain anime, about certain movies, TV shows, series. However, it is always that one show. It is always that one show that I am very reluctant, right? At first, I am very reluctant to try it. But then when I do try it, holy freaking smokes. The Blue Eye Samurai is a winner. The Blue Eye Samurai is an absolute winner. You must check it out. You have to check it out. And today I'm going to give you my review of it because I watched the entire first season and I was blown away. And the best part about this Netflix series is that it has a female lead. Yeah, that's right. That's right. A female lead. Right? And it's done well. It is a female lead done right. A female lead done right. You know, Hollywood needs to take notes. They need to take notes. Actually, no, never mind. Because if Hollywood does get their, if they look at a series like this, they'll be like, oh, well, there's not enough, diversity and inclusion. There's not enough DEI in this series. But anyways, let's go ahead and get on with the review. So, the Blue Eye Samurai. One of the first things that I really like about this story, this story is it has to do with one of my favorite points in history in Japan. And that is the Sakoku era. The Sakoku era, and that is a period when the Japanese, they literally isolated themselves for 200 years. That means they will not let anybody into their world. Nobody from the Western world. All those Europeans that try to get into Japan, they would either, their ships would get sent back or they will get killed on sight. If there was in one of them, some people say that the reason why Japan started the Sakoku era was to keep the Christians out of their country, right? Because a lot of like European ministers and Europeans like Jesuits, they will go to Japan and they would try to, they would try to convert the Japanese into Christianity. And for the longest time, they avoided Christianity, right? So this era was perfect for the character, right? Because hence the name Blue Eye Samurai, which is about, a half Japanese, half European samurai. And during the Sakoku era, there were no foreigners. There were absolutely no foreigners during that time. In the story, and this is actually pretty historically accurate. There was only like 4 white people in the entire country during that time. Now the main character Mizu, right? Her name is Mizu. It's a very well fleshed out character. It's a very, very well done character development. I mean, I love the character. I love the setting. If you are a weeb, a Japanese loving, individual, then you're gonna freaking fall in love with this series, right? Absolutely amazing. So her challenges are very unique because it is set in a time period in Japan where like there was nobody else that looked like her. There were no blue-eyed people. You go to Japan now. There's many like British people, Americans there with blonde hair and blue eyes. But back in the 1600s, the 1700s, right? I think up until like the late 1800s, they really didn't see a lot of blue-eyed people in Japan. It was not very common. They just thought that, it was something. As a matter of fact, back then, if you had blue eyes in Japan, you will be considered a demon. Like they would look at you somewhat like a demon. And this is why this story is very unique and the character is very unique in this time period of Japan. Wow, it is absolutely amazing. I gotta tell you. So we have a strong female lead with real character development, training the samurai arts. I mean, she kicks ass. She kicks all sorts of ass. One of my favorite battles in the entire series is when she fights a group of ninjas, right? And again, I'm not trying to spoil the whole story, but it gets better. It gets better than that. But one of my favorite fights is obviously the ninja battle. Um, and also this beats the whole bullshit. The whole bullshit, the talking points about men and young boys that don't like female characters. We do like female characters. We just don't like female characters like Rey from Star Wars. Because Disney and Hollywood, they just don't know how to write female characters or tell good enough stories. So as a result, we don't like the character, right? But the Blue Eye Samurai is that's exactly what people want, right? So, and of course, there's other characters in the story which are not very important, but it does not take away from the story. I think telling the stories of the other characters are necessary. However, it doesn't really take away from the story. The main focus is obviously the Blue Eye Samurai. That's her story, but the other characters do kind of fill in a lot of holes, and tell another part of the story that is absolutely necessary. And trust me, you will not regret it. Man, the story was so well. The story was so well thought out, so well put together. At times you would think that they would mess something up, but no. Like the entire story, entire show is just, it keeps you at the tip of your seat. One of the things that I like about the series is that every episode is about almost an hour. It's like 45 minutes per episode. It's absolutely fantastic. And I keep saying this, but the unique thing about this show, I was gonna call it an anime, but it's not really an anime. But the unique thing about this show is that the main character, again, is set in the Sakoku era, 200 years of isolation in Japan from the 1600s to the 1800s. The main character, Mizu, is searching for the only four white men, the only four white people in Japan during that time, right? A time period where Japan did not allow any foreigners, right? And Mizu, one of the reasons why this character is so interesting is because she doesn't have an identity crisis, but she does have like identity issues and dealing with like betrayals and things of that nature, where like she is so different, she looks so different being half Japanese, half European, that she's constantly being judged. She is being judged every single day wherever she goes, and this is what makes the story so interesting. This is what makes the character so interesting. And I think this is one of my favorite Netflix series of the year of 2023. I gotta say, this has to be one of my favorite shows of the entire 2023 after watching it. Like, I mean it. So, so every episode is about 45 minutes, almost an hour. And I gotta say, Andy Matrix gives the Blue Eye Samurai a 9.5 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10. This is absolutely amazing. I mean, this show needs to win an award, and if it doesn't, I will fight somebody. And again, this is a female lead done right. A female lead with depth, with character, with backstory, and and also a badass character. She can fight. I mean, she was trained in the samurai arts since she was a kid. And it makes perfect sense, as opposed to, let's say, Rey from Star Wars, who just knew how to use a lightsaber from day one. Excuse me. But yeah, it was so refreshing. It was really so refreshing to see a series like that, and I hope you guys go and check it out on Netflix. Whatever your thoughts are, make sure to comment below. Tell me if you're gonna go and watch the series. Comment below, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications. It's your boy, The Matrix. Godspeed, everybody.